Working remotely has been the new trend of today's working environment, and it is one of the jobs of an Amazon virtual assistant. Watch this video because I'm going to share with you what are the number of red flags that you need to remember before applying as a virtual assistant. Check out the video.
I think being a BA, I also had experience as a virtual assistant, so I'm very also happy with this position, that because being a graphic designer is like you're very confused every day to the task, and it's not like the same process every day. So I'm planning to just freelance my design because I can earn high in the weekends by doing freelance as a designer.
So a quick question for you. I hire you, fantastic. You're now working for me, great. And you're doing work on the weekends, graphic design, great. I wonder if graphic design really kicks off and you've got quite a lot of work to do, and actually it's starting to eat into your week. You've now got to do it during the week. I wonder if you're getting more graphic design work, then what?
I'm not that kind of person, so I used to, when I'm doing freelance, I don't get a client that is very bossy, so I do have my own rules when it comes to freelance. So I will prioritize your work first, and that's the most important, and then it's like design, like my hobby, so anytime I can do my freelance.
Don't get me wrong, like I have interviewed and I've actually hired graphic designers before for Amazon roles, because the graphics design market is changing. It's becoming more and more competitive. It's bottoming out. People are undercutting, and it's harder and harder to make a living because it is very contractual. It's very couple of month contracts and then go. There's no stability. When you've got bills to pay, don't have any problem getting work. Yeah, he's looking for stability, but he said it to himself. I'm basically trying to get him to understand what I can already see. He loved graphics since he started high school. He wants to continue doing graphics on the weekends, freelancing. He's still continuing doing graphics. That's what he wants to do. But for some weird reason, he wants to get a job doing Amazon sourcing. Like, nah, this isn't going to work. And hey, his Amazon sourcing job's going to pay him less than his graphic design work. I know where my priorities would lie if I was in his situation. So just wouldn't work out. And I'm not saying like it wouldn't work out, but it could be great, it could be fantastic. But for me, and my thing is to say it's not a yes, because there is too many things which are telling me that this guy doesn't understand what I think. He doesn't understand that actually he still wants to stay in graphics. Your client cut you off, but why do you think your client cut you off beforehand?
Well, he told me before that his account was bankrupt and he doesn't have any money for to give me salary on the job that I'm working on.
I'm putting the pieces. I'm just trying to fit the pieces together. Just for me, hey, forgive me if I'm wrong, and I'm interested to get your thoughts. But what I'm reading between the lines here is that he hired you full time, 40 hours a week. Mm-hmm. And hey, if I kind of explain why, the role we're doing is not drop shipping. It's very similar. Like you go out, you find profitable products, and then we buy those products, we invest in them, and then we sell them, and we make enough money off them to cover your cost and make profit. Mm-hmm. But in fact, your client then, he's asking you to go out there, find profitable products on eBay, sell on Amazon, and obviously the profit from that is going to cover your cost and make him money. That's the foundation of business when we're talking about employment. What you've told me is that he hired you full-time, 40 hours a week, 2 months, and then he had to go down to part-time because they weren't making enough profit. And I would just throw that straight back and say that you're responsible for the profit you're making. And then 4 months later, he cut your contract. If I read between the lines, it kind of sounds like you weren't making enough money for him to cover your costs. Because hey, if you were, he wouldn't be getting rid of you. That's a fact. What would you say to that? Would that sound true?
For me, no. Because we have a 6 team. We are 6 in the team, okay. And all of us are Filipinos.
Yeah.
And she only all of the boys in the team. He removed all the boys, and what remains is the 2 girls. I don't know, because the two girls are newly recruits on our team.
Okay.
And all of us are like, we know what we are doing, and we are the ones telling them what to do. And time comes that, well, our client just kick off.
My concern, I tried to spell it out to him, was the fact that he's got a client who's cut him off, but interesting enough, there's 6 of them, but 2 of the VAs have been kept on. But interesting enough, by his own admission, but he didn't accept it, was the fact that he'd hired 4 months and then they had to cut him down to part-time because he didn't have enough money. But interesting enough, he's responsible for making his own money, and then eventually let him go after 4 months. Kind of shows to me that he wasn't really working very hard, or I'm not saying he wasn't working hard, I couldn't say that, but say he wasn't delivering the results. It's not my place to say if he wasn't working hard, but if he's delivering the results, he's going to be good. If he isn't, then he isn't. You can see he's cutting off. And I tried to have that conversation with him, but he didn't kind of make that connection. And I'm not saying my connection's right, that's just what I'm seeing. But it was interesting that the client kept on the 2 VAs but didn't keep him on. And I'm always of the belief, and hey, if you're ever hiring an experienced VA, big question, why are you on the market? Because my God, if you're making the client money, like, you should know what you're doing.
I just wanted to work at home.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. You've left, haven't you?
Yes, last December.
Well, why?
Because once I get a new job, I wanted to work full-time. I don't want to... Actually, right now, I'm still getting tasks. But once I get this, job, I want to work full-time with this position. I don't want to work at the same time. I want to focus in one job only.
Why?
So I can be focused in this task.
So let me put it in perspective. Most people will have 2 jobs because they're earning more money. At the end of the day, why do we work? Because we want money. Obviously, we might have some spare time, we're a bit bored, but most of us don't have the luxury of, I've got more money than I need, so I'm going to get a job to have fun and meet people. You're going to be sat at home doing something. So most people will get 2 jobs because they want the money. So my question to you is you've currently got 1 job, you're looking to get a full-time job, another job, and then you're looking to leave, and you say, so I can focus on 1 job, but that isn't a reason why.
I think when I become expert in this position and I can manage my job, I think I will, accept more tasks.
My big question around him was, a lot of these kind of conversations around money. Why do you want a job? What are you doing? Is this job going to work for you? That's it. That's the question I'm going to ask, is going, are you going to like this job? And is it going to work for you? Because if it's going to work for you and your environment, then fantastic. Now, if you don't know, I hire for clients, I hire for their businesses. And the one big kind of red flag I have is that I'm not a big fan of hiring a VA who wants to have another job or has already got another job. If they've already got a full-time job and they want to take on another full-time job, i.e. mine or my client's one, the answer is just no. Interesting enough, this VA he is working part-time and then he had a full-time, which he's left, and now he wants another full-time job. I kept questioning around, like, why do you want this job? And his answer was, so I can focus. I'm like, well, that isn't an answer. That's just something you're telling me. When a VA says to me, they've got another part-time job and we eventually get out of them, that they want to keep that part-time job and then they want to work my full-time job or my client's full-time job and then that part-time job, there's a real danger that this VA is going to work 2 hours in my client and then some time with the other part-time job, because you know what, they could be earning per hour extra and they're clocking in but not really doing anything, and it's a real danger.
What I will say now is that these are some of the clips from my interview. So if you want to learn more about the questions that I'm asking, watch this video called How to Interview a Virtual Assistant Live Interviews. Check it out. I think you're going to love it.